Hey guys, it's Tom here from Pro Direct Running, and you join me on a very damp, soggy day in Victoria Park, London. But on the plus side, after a very long time, I've got the absolute privilege to be joined by my good friend Ben Felton from Ben Is Running.
How you doing, Tom?
I am doing.
See you again.
Yeah, I'm wonderful. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Today we've got a shoe to share with you, our first impressions, a review of a new shoe coming out from Hoka called the Mach 6. It's a version of this shoe that I've really enjoyed, and I've put about 50 miles in it so far. I'm going to share with you some first impressions, but before we do that, let's talk about some stats.
So what we're going to try and do is keep the tech, the stats, the updates, all the nerdy stuff pretty light touch in this review, just so we can jump straight into the juicy stuff. So with the Mach 6, you're looking at 37mm of stack height in the heel, 32mm in the forefoot for a 5mm drop. One of the big changes we've got is to the outsole. We've now got full rubber coverage of the outsole on the Mach 6, which is very different to what we saw on the Mach 5 and the Mach 4. We've got a new jacquard mesh upper, which I don't know about you, Ben, but I think is a really nice little update.
We've got a super critical EVA.
Oh, not just any EVA.
Yeah, super critical, which just means this is a really soft, bouncy daily trainer that you can also go fast in, and I think it's probably the biggest update from the previous versions in the new Mach 6.
And weight-wise, we were talking off camera, but the weight of this bad boy is actually also pretty fantastic.
Yeah, definitely one of the plus points. I think for me in a UK size 8, it weighs around 200 grams.
Yeah, so for me in an 8.5, that's 220-ish grams, which for a versatile, do-it-all daily trainer, is pretty much on the money, isn't it, really, for what you want?
Almost the sort of a lightweight racing option as well. It comes in at that sort of weight, so you could even do a couple of 5-10k efforts in this shoe and you wouldn't have any problems.
Yeah. So speaking about use case then, what have you used the Mach 6 for up until now, Ben?
Yeah, so primarily I've just used it for my easy days, so just my daily running. I've also taken it on a track session, so I did some 400s in this shoe and it actually performed really well. The midsole is nice and soft, nice and responsive, and because it is such a lightweight shoe, you can sort of do everything in it. The only thing I probably wouldn't do is my long runs, just because it is a bit more of a minimal shoe. But for your easy runs, the tempo runs, some interval work, it's been really, really good.
Yeah, I actually did do a long run in the Mach 6. I did 90 minutes, about 20 odd K, fresh out the box in the Mach 6. And like you say, Ben, I wouldn't necessarily reach for it as an obvious go-to long run shoe, but there's definitely enough stack there, definitely enough cushion underfoot for it to be perfectly comfortable. But I agree with you, I definitely think this shoe is probably more suited towards that sort of steadier running, like your progression runs, the odd tempo run, strides, things like that. I think this really finds its own. And because it has got such a decent amount of stack height underfoot, and because that super critical EVA is nice and soft, I think easy runs as well are really, really comfortable in this shoe. Yeah,
definitely. And we were talking a little bit about where this shoe sort of fits into the rotation for Hoka. So they have the Clifton, which is typically your daily trainer. It's a little bit softer underfoot and maybe a little bit more support. So I would use that more for my easy and recovery days. This is more of a tempo day shoe, so it sits sort of in between your daily and your race day shoe, which is the Hoka Rocket X from this brand. So yeah, really great option, sort of a do-it-all shoe, and I've enjoyed testing it so far.
Yeah, I think with the update that you've got to the Mach 6 here, alongside the other shoes that you mentioned, obviously you've got the Cielo X1 now right at the top end of Hoka's carbon-plated super shoe game. I think Hoka have really got one of the most comprehensive lineups out there out of any brand. Loads of brands are coming with lots and lots of great options at the moment, but Hoka, like I say, are right towards the top of that food chain when it comes to variety, I suppose, across the range of their running shoes at the minute. Mm-hmm. In terms of fit then, Ben, you went true to size with a UK 8. Did you find that about right for yourself?
Yeah, I think so. Sort of more like a tempo day shoe, I like a little bit of a closer fit, and this is a shoe that, as we said, can sort of transition into race day as well, so it is a little bit narrow, but I quite like that for a shoe where I'm going to be doing intervals and tempo work in, so yeah, true to size for me.
Yeah, same here. I went for a UK 8.5, which is my normal size in Hoka, and to be honest, I think the fit is probably one of the things that if you don't mention the fit when you're talking about the shoe, it's probably a good thing. And so for me, I've had absolutely no issues with lockdown, pressure on the top of the foot, hot spots. It fits me like a glove, really, so no complaints there on my side.
Lovely. And one thing I don't think we mentioned just yet is the price point of this shoe. So it comes in at £140, which for a daily trainer that you can do tempo work in, you can also do a couple of races if you wanted to. It's really, really competitive, especially in the market at the moment. You're seeing a lot of daily trainers come in at around £160. So at £140, it's nice to see that Hoka have got a really affordable option in their lineup.
Yeah, we should just preface this by saying the birds are going absolutely mental.
They're
It's those
enjoying
little
themselves up
parakeets,
there.
aren't they? The parakeets like the Mach 6 and we like it too,
They
don't we, Ben?
kind of look like a parakeet almost, the Mach
Yeah,
6.
I'm seeing a resemblance.
If I log it up there, you probably blend in.
Anyway, just as a final little point on the Mach 6 then, a few people have been asking in some of the videos to provide some comparisons to other shoes out there on the market. Where would you position the Mach 6 versus its competition?
Yeah, for me it's sort of similar to Saucony Speed. It's one of those shoes, maybe even a Takumi from
Interesting,
Adidas.
a Takumi.
Maybe a Boston. It's one of those shoes that it's mainly an easy day shoe, but you can also pick up the pace and do some tempo stuff in. So yeah, for me, the closest shoe on the market is probably a Saucony Endorphin Speed.
Yeah, I'd probably go with that. And obviously we didn't mention, but there's no plate in here, there's no stiffening element in the midsole, so it stands out from that range as well. I would probably put it closely to the Rebel V4 from New Balance for another shoe which has got really nice soft foam underfoot, decent stack height, really lightweight, but is pretty much decent for any type of running that you throw at it. On that note, it's just started to absolutely tip it down with rain, so if you want to get your feet in a pair of the Mach 6, you can do so right now at ProDirect Running.
Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and we'll see you here at ProDirect with another shoe review soon.